We are back on Get Up, and it is time for today's Green List, which are the top 5 people or teams that should absolutely hate this Super Bowl. All right, and so I'm going to do these in no particular order. Sometimes we count them down from 5 through 1, but the order in which we place them doesn't really matter. The first of them is Geno Smith. We were reminded by Adam Schefter earlier this week that Geno Smith the Seahawks wanted Geno Smith back last year. Geno Smith wanted out of Seattle. So they traded him to the Raiders, where he promptly was awful. They were the worst team in the NFL. They now have the first pick in the draft where they will select his replacement, and his replacement in Seattle has led them to the Super Bowl in his first year. So Geno Smith needs to hate this Super Bowl. The New York Jets. The New York Jets did everything they could to ruin Sam Darnold. And then they since after that drafted Zach Wilson, signed Aaron Rodgers, signed Justin Fields. They still don't have a quarterback. And parenthetically, they also drafted Leonard Williams, who is one of the best players on Seattle's defense.
And Leonard Taylor, who blocked the field goal for Patriots.
So, I mean, the Super Bowl is lousy with former Jets. The Vikings have got to hate this Super Bowl. They said, Sam, thanks but no thanks. We're good with 9. And maybe in the long run, that will wind up having been the right thing to do. I'm not exactly sure how long that run is going to have to be, because Sam Darnold went out and proved them completely wrong, right? They got to be. If you're in Minnesota right now, you can't even watch this.
Could have franchise tagged him. You could have at least given it one more year.
Another person who's got to hate the Super Bowl is Josh Allen. Josh, he waited all this time and finally got a playoff field in which he did not have Mahomes and did not have Burrow. He has owned the division forever, and now all of a sudden, in one fell swoop, someone else sneaks in, wins his division, and finally makes the run all the way to the Super Bowl that has been eluding him all of this time, especially when Allen himself played his own worst playoff game, and otherwise they're probably still playing this week. He's got to hate it. And the last one is the Titans. How do you think they feel about firing Mike Vrabel now? Mike Vrabel took a 4-13 team to the Super Bowl in 1 year. Since they fired him, they've been 3-14 in consecutive seasons. The GM that they chose over him in a power struggle, they fired 1 year later. They're on, I think, now their third coach since then. So the Titans have become a complete mess, and if you're looking for reasons why, they had an outstanding coach and decided to fire him for absolutely no good
One of the funniest things that was being said when they hired Robert Saleh was they were looking for a Mike Vrabel-type coach in Tennessee. They had a Mike Vrabel-type coach in Tennessee.
That's really well said. Kmart, any quick reaction?
I think number 1 should be the Titans.
Yeah.
And number 2 should be the Vikings, because the Titans are a mess. And the Vikings, the Jets fans, honestly, you guys are getting way too heated about this, because Sam Darnold, look how long ago that was. The Vikings had him on the roster last year. To me, that's more of an issue.
Can I make an addition?
Yeah.
There's going to be a guy at home watching his former team, his former owner go in the Hall of Fame, and he's not going to be getting it. Can I put Belichick in the list here?
Yeah.
Well,
That's a pretty brutal week for Belichick,
That
too.
is. All things, that's right. Here are the Patriots back, and we think Kraft gets in, and then we'll wait and see what winds up happening.